Gemini. This reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to take a look at love from November 15th through the end of the month. But first, Gems, I want to introduce you to my newest little baby. She jumped up just in time for the Gemini video. I found out that she is also a little Gemini. You want to say hi, Mama? Say hi, guys. My beautiful little girl. This is my little patchy girl. She's going to sit with us and keep us company throughout our Gemini reading, or potentially be a huge distraction, but time will tell. Okay, Jonah, let's take a look. I just thought it was super cute because she was sleeping downstairs, and just as I sat down to do Gemini, she wanted to be a part of it. So you guys get to be the first to meet my little patchy girl. Gemini, November 15th through the end of the month. Gemini love, November 15th through the end of the month. Gem, I've decided to switch up my giveaway this month. I'm going to be giving away a free healing session instead of a free reading this month. If you would like to be considered for that giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below your video, and I will notify winners at the end of the month. Thank you all for being patient with me the last couple of weeks. As some of you already know, I mentioned on Instagram and also on YouTube, in the YouTube comments, I've had some losses here the last couple of weeks, and it was a little bit crazy. So I'm a little behind on choosing winners for last month, but I'm catching up. So by the time these get released, winners for October should already be notified. And I'm just getting back into the swing of things, so there shouldn't be any more interruptions. All right, Gems. I'm hearing that somebody's love heals your heart. Somebody will heal your heart. Somebody's love will heal your heart over the next couple of weeks. You may be dealing with your own losses, Gems. It does feel like some of you are going through possibly some pretty big separations, and it does feel like this may be a separation from somebody who you really gave a really serious second chance to. It feels like this could also apply to your partner too, Gem, but it feels like someone gave their all. You've done all that you can do, and you just recognized that you were healthier apart than together, and that can feel like a really big loss, because when you invest that amount of time and energy is coming from that place of love. Okay, so please know, if you are going through a bit of a difficult time coming in to mid-November, know that somebody is meant to. It feels fated. Somebody is fated to show up to heal your heart. Doesn't necessarily mean it will be a brand new love interest. Of course, we'll take a look with more depth in a minute, but it could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be somebody brand new, okay? They may turn into a new love interest, but somebody shows up to heal your heart in a really big way. All right, Gems, let's get a little bit more clarity here. Gemini in love, November 15th through the end of the month. First card out, passion. Ooh, as soon as I looked down at this card, I heard Gemini's getting their light back. Gems, we're coming out of a time where there's been some difficulty, and it may not even just be difficulty in romantic relationships. It could be difficulty in other areas of your life, different kinds of losses, different kinds of challenges, and that light dimmed down a little bit. And now Mercury is still in retrograde at the time of this reading, okay? And we'll still be dealing with the shadow period after the 20th as well. So we have that Mercury energy that slows us down a little bit, but the beautiful aspect of this Mercury retrograde that I'm feeling particularly strong for Geminis at this time, it slowed you down enough so that you recognize where there has been a loss of light, a loss of passion, where some healing. All of my kitties gonna say hi. Everybody's like loving on Gemini right now. Hi, bud. All right, my little monkey. Sorry, Gems. I don't think you guys will care. Kitty interruptions. Okay. The Mercury retrograde, spotlighting where some healing needs to be done, and you're getting it done, okay? Gemini, you're getting your light back. If you're going through a difficult time, you're getting your light back now. This doesn't feel like something you have to wait until next month for. It feels like someone's showing up to heal your heart, but it feels like you're getting your passion back. Now, this feels like passion for a partner for sure. So for those of you in a committed relationship, it feels like you're getting your light and your passion back in regards to romance. Somebody is resparking that romance, sparking that flame, or resparking that flame, but it also feels like you're getting your passion back for life, passion back for creativity. Feels like you're stepping into, well, first of all, this really does feel fated. There's some sort of fated aspect to this because I just keep channeling divine. Like divine is trying to show up for you right now, Gemini, in love, but also in career for sure. Okay, this isn't going to apply to all of you. Some of you who've gone through separations and you felt like you were at the end of the road, you're going to have an aha moment that it actually wasn't the end of the road. It feels like for some of you, this isn't for all Gemini. Don't be surprised if somebody shows up still wanting to work on something, or you have this aha moment like, I thought I was at the end of the road, but I still have more love to give. We can work on this. I have faith in this now. It's that passion. It almost feels like it's bringing you back to somebody, or it's bringing somebody back to you, okay? It does feel like for the majority of you, the majority message here is passion after a loss, okay? It feels like there's some new energy coming in, sparking this passion. This, as corny as it sounds, but I just channeled zest for life, right? That zest for life. So you're getting your light back regardless of what you're going through. Now, for those of you, you don't feel like you've been going through as difficult of a time. It's not so much that your light has necessarily dimmed. That's not going to apply to all Gemini, but it feels like there's been a lack of creativity, like a lack of inspiration, creatively speaking. Even in regards to romance, it feels like someone's been out of divine flow, so you're stepping back into that flow now. Even if you feel like you haven't had a challenging past couple of weeks or past couple of months, it has to do more so with creativity, because that passion, that sacral chakra energy, that life force energy, it feels like someone's been out of that flow. You step back in it, and that is immediately going to overflow into your romantic life. Chemistry, okay? But center of the reading, we have trust. Trust that the storm really has passed. Something's done here for you, Gemini. You've been tested. It's end of the year. I think Mercury retrograde can be a bit difficult for us, for sure. But it feels like you are trusting the blessings too. You're trusting the blessings in the slowdown. You're trusting the reflection when people show up and they're reflecting some sort of message or some sort of karma, or some sort of necessity to heal something. Still, it feels like Geminis are getting really good about this. If someone shows up and it's not the right energy, it's not what you were trying to manifest, and it feels really off, Geminis are like, oh, okay, I need to cleanse my energy now. If somebody in your life is showing up and they're not trustworthy, you're not feeling like a victim. You're like, okay, so what place in me still needs to heal? How can I connect to my inner child to start calling in people that are trustworthy, or people that trust me more? What is it in me that has been attracting the wrong kinds of energy? So yes, trust in your process, but I really am feeling very strongly Gemini trusting in how all of this works spiritually speaking. Gemini really trusting in those karmic patterns and trying to move past, because I feel Gemini moving past either something or a phase that has been really difficult. I also just got a vision of people coming to you in your dreams, like visitations and dreams. It feels like you're trusting that more. It could be a loved one who's passed away coming and visiting you in a dream, and you recognize that that's not random. You recognize that that's such a blessing. I do feel like there could be partners, ex-partners, even if they themselves are not particularly spiritual, but they know that you are. It feels like you could have some exes or some old friends, people that you've cut out of your life, connecting to you while you are asleep, while you are dreaming. It's going to be important, if that applies to you, Gemini, before you go to bed, to set some really strong boundaries, to call on Archangel Michael to make sure no one is overstepping that boundary, because it feels like someone could be possibly doing something to bypass your free will, and that energy is actually not okay. If you've asked somebody out of your life and they really want a second shot, they can call you, and then you can decide whether or not you're going to answer that phone call. But to then step into that spiritual place, that sacred space, that dream space, that feels like someone could be violating free will a little bit. I don't feel like you're doing this. But pay attention if that's happening for you, okay? But another positive message here. So we have trust at the center. We already spoke about passion, but on the other side of trust is playfulness. This is your card. This is Gemini's energy. This is, I just heard the release of the inner child. The inner child allowed to like run wild down the hallways and scream at the top of their lungs and just be playful and love life and love everybody in it. That's what you are getting back to. The storm is past here, okay? You get your light back. You get those Gemini characteristics, not back because they were never really gone, but you put them on full display now. And it's a beautiful, beautiful energy to be stepping into. It feels like a breath of fresh air, and it feels like it's really needed, okay? And I think this is what you're moving away from. We have passion clarified by deception. You've stepped away from people like this. Now, for those of you in committed relationships where deception from your romantic partner, that didn't show up from your romantic partner, it feels like this could be friends and family around you. This isn't the first time this has come up for you, Gemini, but it feels like this could be karmic. You may have been calling in different kinds of relationships, whether they are romantic relationships, new friendships, people who are just not trustworthy, right? Back to this message. And instead of you feeling like a victim about it, you're like, oh, okay, I recognize the karma in this. I see the pattern in this. So I'm going to heal. I'm going to heal. I'm going to connect to my inner child, and I'm going to heal that deep so that I can conquer this once and for all. If you've been conscious of this, Gemini, you conquer it once and for all, okay? This deception does not feel new. This does not feel like it's a deception that is showing up over the next couple of weeks from you. It feels past tense. Could be that person trying to show up in your dreams, though. I'm telling you, someone's overstepping some free will. Feels like a spiritual boundary somebody's overstepping. You know, I'm a shaman. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I am hardcore about boundaries in general, but especially the spiritual ones. So when I start to channel things like that, you know, I get a little hardcore about it. And you can do what feels intuitively right for you, Gemini, but I would be very careful about that, okay? And making sure that you have some extra protection around you. It's not to manifest any sort of fear or manifest an outcome from a place of fear, but just recognizing, like, you've gotten rid of certain relationships. You've cut ties with people for a reason. Their energy shouldn't still be showing up. There's definitely forgiveness. There's definitely an end to a relationship somewhere, okay? Could also be a chapter of your life, too. It could be a phase that's ending and you're stepping into something brand new. But it does feel like this is connected to a person or possibly a group of people. So we come back to trust at the center of the reading. Clarify by forgiving and learning. But I want to hold these two side by side. Deception, forgiving, and learning, okay? You're learning what that reflection is. You're learning that this is a karmic pattern, and you are trusting in the reflection so that you can heal it, okay? You are healing at this time. It feels like if someone's really, if someone made you very angry, very like sad, like to the point of like true grief, that's lifted at this time, Gems. I'll be honest with you. It's almost like you go to bed maybe one night not feeling so good, and you wake up the next morning and it is such a drastic 180. All of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh wow, I don't care anymore. I cleansed that energy. I don't want to go back to that person. I don't want to be stuck in that space. Thank you, universe. This is all a blessing in disguise. Thank you for giving me that clarity so I can move on with my life. Hence getting here. You will get here before the end of the month. I promise you that. There is movement forward, even if it feels slow because of Mercury retrograde. It's good that you're taking your time with this healing process, okay? So we have playful. Wow. Okay, Gems, we're just going to go through this in stages again. This passionate but possibly deceptive love, okay, that has showed up, a relationship that was deceptive, and it could have been interfering with a very stable, loving relationship, okay? This could be in the form of friends. This could be an ex-partner, an ex-romantic partner. It could be family, okay? But you move beyond that. Forgiveness and trust. You're trusting in the process. You're trusting in the reflection. You're trusting yourself. You're learning, and you're growing, and you're forgiving. This is what you move on to. See, I told you we get here. You want to know why? That message of somebody's love heals your heart. This is where you wind up. By month's end, we're talking about the next couple of weeks here. There's true love in the mix. There's true love. Now, I will say for some of you that true love is going to show up in the form of a friendship. You may call in a new best friend, or you may just have a friend who you haven't seen in a while, who you already love. It's already an established friendship, and they just show up, and their energy is so playful. They heal you. Don't be surprised if you're doing that for some of your friends and some people that you love too, Gemini. They could be going through a hard time. A friend, a close family member. And it's that playful Gemini energy that shows up with authentic love at the core and just heals. Because how often does Gemini do that? Without even trying, you show up to that party, to that lunch, you pick up that phone call, and it's that Gemini energy. It's that straightforward, but that loving, that playful. That heals people, gems, and I think you guys know that, but this is what you're moving toward. For others of you, this true love is that romantic true love. I do think for some of you, someone may step back in the picture, and you may have felt like you are at, I don't want to say wit's end. I think that you got past the aggravation of it, but it may have felt like there was no other way to heal this relationship, and all of a sudden, you've found a way. You've gotten back to this place, this fun, this friendship that you guys had, and you're like, wait a minute, that's how we're going to heal this relationship, okay? I do think for the majority of you, if you've gone through a separation, it's not about a reconciliation. It's about moving forward to that playfulness, to a new love, to a true love at this time. Let's get you guys a crowning. For those of you in committed relationships, you're getting back to that place of something being more lighthearted. I see Gemini getting a partner maybe out of their shell, out of a place of like constant stress. You're hanging out more. There's passion. It's more sensual, but there's a lot of just like playful, silly games, being out and about, being overly social, but with this loved one and getting back to this connection of incredibly deep love. I'm telling you, like for those of you in committed relationships who've been going through a hard time, whether it's together or it's something outside of your relationship, you reconnect to them now. This is a breath of fresh air. There's something that comes in and it relieves the stress. Crowning the reading, we have commitment. If you're single and you're going through this process and you're trusting your process and you're forgiving and learning and you have healthy boundaries around those exes, even the ones trying to come back in your dreams, you're moving forward. You're moving forward. There is commitment here. There's true love here. And there's this playful Gemini energy. I see Gemini by end of month feeling like their whole self again. If something has made you feel like you weren't your whole self, there's been grief, there's been something challenging. I think for some of you, it's just stress. There's a lot of stress around money. It feels like for some of you, gems, it's just not an issue by month's end. Wow, bottom of the deck, we have your freedom. A lot of this is coming after separations and endings for you, but you have such a happy, positive result. This doesn't feel like grief. This feels like celebration. You're free from something. You're free from some sort of stress, a negative relationship, some sort of karmic pattern or deception, some sort of pain. This could just be freedom from the pain. For those of you who've gone through a loss and maybe you've lost a loved one and somebody has passed away, it feels like you're coming out of that grief state. You're accepting the loss, and now you're getting back to celebration. It could be celebrating their life, but being able to do that without the grief overshadowing it, you know? But I think for the majority of you, Gemini, this is speaking to the end of a relationship that you probably consciously chose to do, and you're moving on with your life, okay? This is happy freedom. This is that playful energy. Gems, if you feel like you need more clarity than this, reach out to me. I am available for private readings. I'm available for energy healing work, regardless of where in the world you are. Distance healing is just as powerful as doing healing with me one-on-one. So reach out if you guys feel like you need it. I will be back December 1st. I can't believe we are almost at the end of the year. It's so crazy. December 1st. I will be back December 1st for your full month of reading at that time. But in the meantime, gems, just trust that things are going to be okay. By month's end, you're going to feel so much better than how you have maybe been feeling this beginning half of November, okay? Even the last couple months, if they've been challenging, or the last couple of weeks. Gemini, there's light here. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's real healing here. And you get back to your whole self, okay? I'm sending you all so much love, light, gratitude, gems. I'll see you back here soon. Ciao.